He's done it. Has Wells got the finish? You bet he has.
That's in towards Tommy Conway.
Goal. Runners around him, goes on his own and scores a glorious goal. Ruthless stuff for Bristol City.
Over 1,900 fans travelled west along the M4 this morning, heading for the Swansea.com stadium, where Nigel Pearson's Bristol City take on Swansea City in the Sky Bet Championship and are arriving, as we can see. The Swans are winless and sit 20th in the Championship compared to Bristol City's 14th. And of course, the Reds are looking to bring all 3 points back to BS3. Well, what a morning/afternoon we have ahead of us then. An early kick-off for that M4 derby. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Robins TV, live from Ashton Gates. And joining me for this one is former City defender Chris Honor. Hot foot back from holiday. Nearly didn't make it. Your bags are still on a carousel somewhere. But are you de-stressed and ready for some football?
Ready to go for it. I'm looking really forward to it. I've been, away and watching all the games myself. It's been a real experience watching you from afar. Some great shows as ever, and just looking forward to a really good performance this afternoon.
Every now and then, I'd get a little photo from Chris from wherever he was watching the game from,
with the beach in the background and the pina colada in the foreground. Absolutely,
exactly. This is a man that drinks pina coladas. Anyway, look, let's get into the football. I sort of feel like defensively Bristol City at the moment are being hailed as one of the best teams in the league if you look at the stats. Then again, only 3 goals in our first 4 games. So is it a consistency issue again at the moment, you think? I
think the game against Hull was a perfect example. I think Hull, for the first sort of 15 minutes, they were very strong. We sorted ourselves out and we looked the better team for the rest of the game, for a large majority of the rest of the game. I think we need to start with a very high tempo and we need to work really hard at our defending because that's been the mainstay, as you just mentioned. We haven't conceded many goals, but we also need to allow ourselves we now have a bit more confidence in the last third and maybe get a few earlier balls into the box and feed Naki Wells or whoever is up front at the time, and hopefully we can score some earlier goals to make the job a little bit easier. Yeah, absolutely. I think in terms of that stat of none of our goals coming in the first 45 minutes, that's interesting, isn't it? And then, there's a shots on target thing. So perhaps it's just, I don't know, still settling down a bit, or? I think so. I think it's really early days. It's only 4 games into the league season. And I think Bristol City want to be hard to beat. I think that's the stall that Nigel Pearson set out for his team. That's what he's trying to build his team around, and at the moment they're doing very well. It's a really competitive league. I've seen some of the signings in the last few days that some of the clubs around them have made, and it just goes to show it's going to be another exciting, very difficult championship season. All right, Chris, for now, thank you very much. Listen, we've got some team news in from Swansea, so let's head over for the first time and say good afternoon to Toby Osborne.
Good afternoon, Downsy. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, Michael Duff had a very busy Friday. 4 incomings late last night for the Swans, none of which are eligible, though, to play today. Could that have been a bit of a distraction, though, as they search for their first win of the league season? 2 changes for them. The first comes at the back with no Harry Darling involved today. He's replaced by 34-year-old former Spurs defender Kyle Norton. Appearance 288 for the club, having just signed a new 1-year deal. They set up as a back 3 in the last game, which we expect to stay alongside Cabango and Wood. In midfield, Jay Fulton is on the bench and Ollie Cooper comes in alongside Matt Grimes and Arsenal loanee Patino. The front 3 of Liam Cullen, who of course scored in this fixture last season, and summer signing Jerry Yates remains the same. The latter has 2 goals in his first 4 appearances for the club this season, both of whom will feel some pressure though with the arrival of Jamal Lowe on deadline day. On the bench, former Liverpool man Joe Allen is there, and ex-Red Jamie Patterson, who's looking to rejuvenate his Swans career after contract confusion impacted his involvement last season. Bristol City, following the news of Zach Viner's contract renewal last night, haven't made drastic changes following that impressive yet frustrating 1-1 draw with Hull. Just the one this time. It's a full start in the league for Taylor Gardner-Hickman, perhaps managing George Tanner's game time as he drops down to the bench. Viner and Naismith remain at centre-half, despite Rob Dickey being involved in the squad again. In midfield, another start for Williams alongside James and Knight, who picked up Player of the Month award for Bristol City. The front three, Bell, Wells and Sykes, remain, the latter the only one yet to score this season so far in the league. And then on the bench, no surprises, it's another strong one with Mehmeti, Cornick and Yeboah. The latter some felt might have played himself into contention for a start today. Right, let's head over to South Wales then. Nigel Pearson is with Robins TV.
Nigel, lovely day in South Wales, a sold out away and awaits. How much are you looking forward to today's game?
Very much, and the players are, we seem in a very, very positive place again. We know we've got to start performing on a regular basis, home and away, and I think our away form's been pretty good. We've just got to go into this international break with a win wherever possible, but another positive performance on the road. So always a difficult game here, but one that we're looking forward to.
Taylor Gardner-Hickman makes his first start. What can fans expect from him today?
Well, he'll give us probably a different dimension in possession. You know, he's a midfield player, but he's playing at right back today. So he's played there a number of times. So he'll be hopefully he'll give us a bit more quality in possession. I think that's something that we need to be a little bit more creative at times, but we'll see. I'm just looking forward to seeing him play. He's a really good footballer, and he's very excited to be here. So it's another positive for us in terms of the types of player that we are trying to bring to the club.
You mentioned there wanting more creativity.
Yep.
Jason Knight was recently voted by the fans as our player of the month for August. He comes back in amongst others. How key is he going to be today? Well,
I've said before, he's a winner, but he's a player with a lot of energy and drive as well. I just think we go into this game with a strong lineup, and we want to try and start putting a run together which gives us some sort of momentum, because our form at home has been disappointing, and we all know that. But this is our next game, so it's important that we get this right today, and then the international break gives a bit of time for recovery. Hopefully we'll have Andy Vyman available when we come back from that, but it's all about today.
You spoke about in a week how they're change of manager, but not too much of a change of style of play from Swansea. What challenge do you expect from them?
Well, I think they're more prepared to mix things up a little bit now. So they still have a possession-based game. They have players who are very creative, but they're not afraid to be more direct when they need to be. So I suppose in some ways that gives them potentially more ways of being in the game. For them, they'll probably be a little bit disappointed with the start, but they're a good team. So and Michael's a good manager. So we know it'll be a tough game for us today.
And finally, we've mentioned already a sold out away, and today, how big a part can the fans play?
Well, they're always really important for us, and I think when you get this type of fixture, when we come over the border, so to speak, there's always a bit of an edge. I just want our fans to enjoy seeing their team play again, and that's they'll do that if they see the level of commitment and the sort of high energy game that we're capable of.
Nigel Pearson chatting to Ryan Morgan there for Robins TV, only occasionally interrupted by the Swansea Stadium announcer, which would never happen here on Ashton Gate. Right, so thoughts on team news, how you're settling into that? What sort of game do you think it's going to be today, Chris?
Well, it's interesting to see or hear what he's saying about Gardner Hickman. He's obviously picked out the fact that he's a midfield player. He's very comfortable in possession. Maybe that's an area that he would like Tanner to improve on. It just gives Bristol City a little bit more creativity down the right-hand side. There's a partnership being built between Bell and Pring on the left-hand side, and he's just hoping to maybe introduce a little bit of flair down that right-hand side so we can get some good crosses and good balls into the box for maybe a running midfielder or Naki Wells. So yeah, it's all about combinations, and he's obviously been asking Tanner to be a little bit more creative over the last few months, and this is his opportunity to change things because he's got this good loan signing in from West Brom.
Let's take a moment to just celebrate Zach Viner and 3 more years for him, and so pleased for him.
Well, I didn't know that until that little clip there. I must have missed that last night, and I'm delighted. I mean, he's a young lad for me who's done brilliant. He's rode a real tough path to his current situation. I mean, there was a few years ago when there was a performance at Swansea itself where he was heavily criticised, and to see him now as one of the most consistent players at the club and one of my favourites by a million miles, and I give it away every time I'm talking about him. He was in my academy team, so I remember him as a young kid. I'm absolutely delighted that he's decided that Bristol City have got the ambition for his future career, and he's going to stay for another 3 years, hopefully.
Absolutely, and he's such a nice guy too.
Yeah, he's a lovely lad.
All right, Chris, thank you very much.
Pleasure, thank you.
Let's have a bit of fun now, shall we? As ever, the Robins TV way is to ask silly questions of Bristol City professional footballers. Now, the man that scored his first ever Bristol City goal at Swansea at the start of the year, Sam Bell, sat down with Robins TV for Ask a Silly Question.
Sam Bell, forward. Family. The worst. Probably Rob Atkinson. Very messy. Yeah, I sit next to him in the changing room. Very messy. God, stumped me that one. Probably back so I could see my dad play here a bit more. I never actually got to see him play, so yeah, probably that. Obi-Wan Kenobi, very wise man. Probably super speed, probably helping me on the wing a bit. So yeah, probably that. Probably Kenilworth Road. I think it's quite the tightness of it around the pitch is a bit dangerous. As yeah, I've sort of found out a bit. Probably travelling to some places when I'm a bit older. Maybe play some golf while I do that. The Swansea away, first goal for the club. That was a very good day. Yeah. Probably from my dad, just to always enjoy what I'm doing, never put too much pressure on myself, and yeah, probably that. I'm not a bad chef, you know. I do like a good Thai curry, something like that maybe. Yeah, I'll probably go with that.
I think that's the best one I've seen so far. Excellent stuff. Very good, very good. Right, you're watching Robins TV. Hello, it's Downsy with Chris on it here at Ashton Gate. We will continue on the way after the break. We're reliving some classic Bristol City moments versus Swansea over the years, plus some analysis to see if we can break down Swansea's defence. Chris will take a look through that. And, of course, all the action from the Swansea.com stadium from 12:30. We'll see you after the break.
everyone, it's Matt here from the Robins Foundation. I am here today to say a massive thank you to all of our Robins Lotto members. It's thanks to all of you that over the last year we've been able to donate over £46,000 directly to the Robins Foundation, which goes straight towards supporting all of our amazing community projects. So huge thank you to all of our Lotto members. If you want to be in with a chance of winning huge cash prizes every week, whilst also supporting your community, then please head to the Robins Foundation website and sign up to the Robins Lotto today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, welcome back to Robins TV. It's coverage of the match between Swansea City and Bristol City in the Sky Bet Championship. We'll have more analysis on the way very shortly with Chris Honor, who's in the studio. First of all, we go down under. We're saying hello to Beth and friends. There they are. Hi, Beth and friends. They are part of the Australia Supporters Club for Bristol City, and they are watching from a bar down under. That scarf looks like it's seen better days, I'm going to be absolutely honest, but they've all got their kit on down there, and a few, I think they call them schooners down under, Chris, don't they?
I remember that scarf from my era, so that is certainly very old.
Beth and friends from the Bristol City Australia Supporters Club, you are very welcome today. Thank you very much for watching. We'd love to know where you're watching from. Just give us a tweet and we'll give you a shout out on the show. Right, it's Derby Day over the bridge right now, and of course time to see some classic Bristol City moments against Swansea over the years. Let's take a look.
Recorded a 1-0 win in their Auto Windscreen Shield second round game at Swansea. Skipper Gary Hours blasting the goal after 90 seconds, which left Swans keeper Roger Freeman catching at thin air, and City carrying on determinedly to complete a job well done.
And all of a sudden the home fans find their voice once more. There'll be 1 minute of time added on. Tinian heads clear. And now Cody Ford with Murray. And Murray is away, and Murray's in the clear. Can he make it 3-1 to Thorpe? It is 3-1. Thorpe is offside, and that's 3 points to Bristol City. Mistake was there. Initially it was Murray who broke through, and unselfishly he fed Thorpe to strike home City's third.
First ever goal away at Swansea, nice. And I think we drew 1-1 that day as well, but got good memories against Swansea for scoring anyway.
Here comes City again, chance for Conway, deadlock broken in the derby, and he's back among the goals. It's Tommy Conway. And prior to that, Bristol City, 2 golden opportunities, this time the newest star of BS3 makes no mistake, and that's 8 goals for the season now for Tommy Conway.
What a finish, you know. A great little threaded ball. All he's got to do is he hasn't even got to take a touch. He hasn't got to break a stride, and that is a great finish in the bottom corner. And he deserves that. He's been a bright spark this first 20 minutes here today. Great finish, great goal, and definitely deserved Bristol City today.
Nicely laid off by Williams. And here goes Bell for Bristol City. It's a brilliant run from Sam Bell all the way! What a brilliant goal! Bristol City take the lead in stunning style.
Yeah, that was a pretty good goal, wasn't it? The old Sam Bell goal there. The moment he was talking about reliving. Hopefully we can create some more of those memories today.
Well, that was when we realised we had a player on the map. He just, a young kid at the academy, and he did something that, most of the supporters had never seen, and it was a special moment for him, as he mentioned in that interview. But the fans will never forget that one because it was a great goal. Good
stuff. Right, I need your expertise now, your football brain, because we want to talk a little bit about Swansea's defence. One of the things you've noticed is that, of course, City are utilising this long throw now a few times this season. And it could really prove a bit of a weapon today, because Swansea don't appear to be enjoying defending a set piece. Let's take a look at this, and you can talk us through this a bit, because this could be an opportunity for us.
Yeah, this is a long throw in the box, and the ball's obviously bobbling around, and one of the West Brom players is left completely unmarked at the far post and finished quite easily, and this is in the last sort of week or so. And sometimes it gets in your head that your defending's not good. Bristol City went through a little bit of a phase a few years ago where they struggled with set pieces, and hopefully this is going to be playing on their mind. And with Harry Cornick's long throws, I know he's not starting today, but if Bristol City decide to utilise those throws into the box, they all got caught ball watching as the ball went to the far post, and it was a good header across and well dispatched in the end.
Yeah, those long throws. Remember Horder Magnuson?
Oh, there was a period of loads of players, Delap, and I remember a guy at Swansea called Andrew Legg, who used to throw the ball absolutely miles, and it was utilised. It was like another corner, wasn't it?
Definite skill. Right, this time let's take a look. This is from a corner here, and they don't pick up on a man at the front post here. So this is again another opportunity.
Yeah, if you notice the guy who's been wrapped at the front post, it's a bit of a ploy actually. West Brom have worked on wrapping the man at the front post to allow someone to run to the near post. It looks like Swansea got the number 4 was dragged out the way. There was a big hole at the near post. It was helped on, and it was again a bit of a unfortunate few ricochets, but the ball ends up in the box, and Swansea got completely done at that one. So another set piece. Hopefully Bristol City be able to utilise that.
And the other thing we want to look at is the pace on the flank. So have a look at this, because this is perhaps something City want to utilise their pace on the flanks, just like Bournemouth did midweek.
Well, we've just seen Sam Bell scoring a great goal, and he's out there this afternoon, so hopefully he can get him behind that centre, that right back, and feed the ball into Naki Wells, who hopefully can finish as well as that. But yeah, that might be an issue. Bristol City's wingers and their fullbacks, we've got obviously Gardner Hickman on the other side. Hopefully he can get down the flanks and feed Naki Wells, and we can see a few more goal opportunities like that.
Yeah, that's really important, isn't it? Because looking at the stats, actually just getting up there, getting some shots on target, and being able to perhaps convert some of those, and balancing things out. I think that's where perhaps the inconsistency has been. Great defensively. We perhaps now just need to balance that out a bit more. In terms of the personnel that you've been impressed with so far this season, Chris, is anybody sticking out in particular?
Well, I think Jason Knight's done great, hasn't he? I mean, he just mentioned that he's won the Player of the Month, and rightfully so. He, coming to a new club and new surroundings is always very difficult, but he's hit the ground running. He looks like a box-to-boxer, which was, what most of the Derby fans were saying that we were going to get from him. But he's got a little bit more in his game. He's able to pass the ball well. He's got plenty of skills. He's always there in support. And Bristol City, he's definitely one for the future. And but at the moment, he's doing amazing. Someone who's just slotted in nicely. And again, going back to Zach Viner, always nice to see him in the side. And hopefully, Rob Dickey, who's been also another addition, although he's not starting today, he's also slotted in really well in the centre of defence.
Good stuff. All right, for now, Chris, thank you very much. You're watching Robins TV. For those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, it's goodbye for now, but you can buy your pass to watch today's game in the UK at bcfc.co.uk.